Hey Bloomerinos, yep, we're gonna make this one together. Hi there, I'm Keleas. I'm gonna show you how, step by step. So come on, get in here, let's have some fun with flowers. Y'all, I thought we need to do the newest, trendingest color for this year, and it is purple. And I can't wait to show you what we're gonna do. I want you to see these ribbons. Number one, we've got a bow we made out of these ribbons. We're gonna be using that. Let me show you that. The cool thing, you guys, is all gonna come in a kit. You're gonna get all these ribbons. You'll have access to a video to learn how to make this bow. But wait, do you see the florals? Yes, purples, lavenders, a little lighter purple, a little darker. This one is just perfect because it's got both colors in it. Goes good with these ranunculus. These are Italian ranunculus, so they have this little bit more of a flat head. Y'all, this arrangement is going to be so juicy and so good. Yeah, you know, I usually just say that about ribbon, but when we're talking purple, I think you're going to love it. So Bloomerinos, if you want to grab this kit to make this one with us, just let us know in the comments. We'll get you the info you need. You can also text us at 832-734-5201. Just text us kit. It'll give you all our newest kits in one link and help you out to get exactly what you'd like. This one is a lot of fun, and we're going to show you how to make it all together. So in your kit, you're going to get a couple of different purple filler flowers that we're going to use like greenery too. Then we've got our Italian ranunculus, which I love that. It's got that beautiful variegated kind of color in the center where it comes in a little bit creamier, lighter, and then it's just so juicy as it goes to the outside. It's just so, so pretty. Then we've got a lavender filler, which is going to work like a greenery too. And then of course I showed you our fancy bow. So it's going to be really easy and a lot of fun to put together. So let's get started. I'm going to start here with these two pieces that come in the kit right here. And we're going to use these like greenery. So let's start preparing them. And I love that I'm giving you a little kind of sneak peek into what we do in design school so you can understand a little bit of the tricks of the trade. But whenever you get a chance, come join us in class where we go really in depth on placement, and you can learn, you know, how to do all the things we're doing very quickly here. You can learn to do them properly so you know how to do it on your own. And I'm going to trim these up. I'm going to get them, I don't want them real short because I'm going to use them like they're long, because they're going to be our kind of our baseline greenery. Even though they have a flower in there with them, we can do that. We can use this in our background. And so let's get started with that. Now you choose what side of the wreath you want to work on. I'm going to work on the left side. That's my favorite, and it works pretty good for most doors. So we'll start placing these in. And I am going to put a little bit of Spanish moss on each of these. And we just got our moss back in stock, so make sure you grab it before it's gone again. And it's hot. All right, my first piece is in, and I'm going to put one at the bottom also. And this is what we call setting our perimeter in design school, and that's what I'm going to do first, because I'm going to decide how big I want it. You know, how big I want this piece to be. All right, let's come down here, and I kind of start setting those lines. Yep. You see how we're coming up and down, and then I work backward from there. So you can do that when you're making your own. We're just going to work backward from here. So anytime I can see the glue, or the glue is kind of gathered up on the base, that's when I want to come in and cover it with moss. It possibly won't do it every time, but when it does it, you got to hide it. And that's just a simple way to do it. All right, so my three pieces are in to start, and now I'm going to go to the top, and we're just going to do the same thing up there. Every time you make a design, you have to come up with a transition point where you change direction. In design school, I teach you the reasons why we're doing that, so you can do it on your own later. So you don't have to always watch a video to do it, but you can learn the principles so you can just do it all by yourself. And I love to get excited for our students because they create some of the most beautiful pieces. They're rock stars. My Keleas Bloomerinos are rock stars. Okay, we got the first 6 pieces in. Look at it. Yeah, we did it. You could do that. All right, let's add a little bit more. We want to put some area in our bow zone. That's the area we're leaving open for the bow. I'm going to come in there and we're going to add a little bit around in that area. So that sometimes means we're going to have to cut it down a little bit shorter, because I'm always kind of watching my outside line here for my design. I want to make sure that things are kind of setting a flow and they've got a good texture. So I'm going to start putting these in right here. Oh, y'all, recently we had to travel up to Canada to check on my father-in-law. He had a scare at the hospital. And I will tell you, I'm just going to tell you, I am not made for snow. How about you? How about you? You have to live with snow? Because God bless it if you have to live with snow. Because no, I am not made for snow or ice or wind and minimal sunshine. Y'all know we're down here in the South, down in Houston, and like I told Honey Bunny, if we go anywhere, if we ever move somewhere, it's got to be somewhere it gets actually warmer than colder. That is my whole declaration here. Oh, I'm not having it be so cold. It's miserable. I don't know how you guys do it. It probably helps if you have proper clothing, because this Texan, y'all, we're talking, I just had to layer up t-shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts, and a jacket. That's all. That's what we had to do. It's all we had available. Look here. We got a great perimeter set, and that means we've got our background greenery in. So guess what? Come on. We're going to put our next layer in. I'm going to show you how. Ever wanted to use a floral stem, but you felt like you don't love the leaves on it? I'm going to give you a little simple trick you're going to love. And we do this in design school all the time. And florists do it all the time, but you may not have thought about doing it with your artificial flowers. So when I get a stem like this, and it has just these, this is a ranunculus, or ranunculus, however you want to say it, it has these leaves that are brighter green, and I just think they go everywhere. And even though that may be how it is in nature, in my floral design, I really want this stem to be neat and clean. So a simple way to handle that is just pull these off, right? Pull them off, and you can leave like a little one up by the bloom if you want to, or you can get rid of those too. So on this particular design, I'm taking them all off. Now, once you pull them off, you're going to be left with those little bitty pieces that look like you've like shredded it, right? You have all those little pieces. Never fear. Just grab your wire cutter. Never fear. Just grab your wire cutter, and I want you just to take and trim these off right here. See me trimming them off? And then nobody's going to know. Yeah, you can say that saying or play that song. Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. I'm going to trim those right off. And then I'm going to have a nice clean stem with beautiful buds or blooms that really show out. Oh, here's one more right here. I missed one. And just trim those off. And I'm just using my wire cutters, and they'll come right off. And now this can really showcase, and I can do whatever I want to these heads to make them beautiful and manipulate the wires. And my design is no longer fighting with those leaves, which is really crucial when you're trying to set your lines and your arrangement. Yeah, that's stuff we do in design school, so I would love to have you in our class and show you all of the ways we use lines and layering and texture and depth and dimension in our pieces to help us get more value and make more money off the pieces we sell. So I hope this little tip helps you. We're going to put these in our design next. Now, I like taking off the leaves in this situation because it gives me this beautiful stem, and I can really appreciate these gorgeous blooms on here. Our ranunculus are naked, no leaves, just the way we want them. Now, I want to cut them pretty long, so I'm going to hold them up to my piece, and I'm going to cut them at one of the lines right here so I can easily chop it down. All right, and I did that with both my stems, so I made them shorter. And I am going to shake hands just like we would in design school, open up my petals a little bit. Make sure they're jazzy. I like to get some motion. I like them to come forward and really be moving off the wreath. That's one of the things you're going to learn in my class. I don't play around. We aren't playing around, guys. We are here to make things pop off the surface. Three-dimensional as possible. So I'm going to put my first stem in the bottom. Oh yeah. And you can manipulate these heads however you want. You can give it a twist in here to get them going, but use the wires in the stems. Everything we sell has really good wires. I make sure it does. So I want to make sure we're putting them in there and giving them a lot of movement. Okay, now up at the top, we've got this other one. I cut it just a little bit longer, and I'm going to have it kind of swoop over to the left and right. This one's going to come this way, and that one's going to go that way. So we're going to put this right in tight to where the bow zone is, and that's the area we're leaving open in the middle. Y'all, if you haven't already liked and subscribed and followed us and hit all that stuff and you're still watching, you better do that, because then you can get notifications no matter where you're watching us. So click it, click it. All right, oh, I gotta get moss on here. We gotta cover up the glue with the moss with the glue. Get in there, I know what to do. Okay, sorry. I'm so excited about this wreath. Man, once we got those leaves off there and got those popping, look at where we're at. Look at where we're at. I'm gonna show you the dimension. I'm not kidding. That's where the money is, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta pop it. Next step is this filler. We got two different fillers, and this one has like thicker pieces in it. It's got this great little lamb's ear in there, which I'm a big fan of, and all these berries and things. So we're gonna take this bush and prep it to go in. So I'm gonna do it magically. 1, 2, 3, prepped. It's all cut into pieces, ready to rock and roll. So I have 4 beautiful pieces, and we're gonna start by putting these in a little bit tight to the bow zone. So if you hear me say bow zone, that's the area the bow's gonna go in. Don't panic, I'm not calling you a bozo. At least not most of you. All the bozos get blocked and banned, so we don't have to worry about them. Don't be a bozo. All right, that one's kind of going in there, and then I'm gonna put the other one below and shape this all up. Okay, looking good. Let's have this one kind of work in here, and I want these to lay against my ranunculus and really make that shine in here. I'm gonna get in there tight. Ooh, yes. See how pretty that is? Just gently layer those in. Now I've got 2 more pieces. We're gonna work those more outside, and I'm gonna shape them up a little. If you haven't tried this C-shaped design, you gotta do it. You gotta give it a try. They're beautiful. When I first met my husband, y'all, honey bunny, he would say, "Why don't you make the wreaths all the way around?" And I was like, "Sweetheart, this is my signature style. You just showed up to the arrangement here, buddy." Because I already had my business and everything when we met, and was working out of my home, and I met him, and then he came and helped me at the craft shows, and some of my craft show girlfriends were like, "Keleas, don't have him come here." And I'm like, well, unless he's got a bunch of money, this is what I do for a living. I was a teacher, and I did this on the side, and that made me enough money. Because I taught at a private school, so I didn't make as much as other people. But I had a great schedule at the school, so it allowed me to really get involved and do my craft shows full time amongst teaching. So heck, I wasn't scared of showing him in the craft show, even though it was probably a lot of work. Look at this! We're making this together. It's looking great. So we got that bush put in. Now, we're gonna go ahead and put the bow in now. We made the bow on another video. Here it is. It's big and beautiful. And here's your opportunity to ask for the link for the bow. Don't worry, it's always gonna be on the supply list too of our kits or our supply list. If there's a bow that's separate, there'll be a link to the video there too, so you can go watch it. And when you're in design school, we have the links to all the private behind the scenes videos that are done privately for design school students. And you get password protected access to the supplies for those items too, so you get first dibs. So when you're in our class, we provide just a little bit higher level service than you're seeing here, but even here, we've got the links available to see the videos, okay? So I'm gonna put this in right here in the open section. I'm gonna go in the open section. That's our bow zone. And I'm gonna go a little bit through the back and then pull it back around. I don't really love it to go all the way in the back, but sometimes you gotta fush with it. Okay, it's just not cooperating. So when it does that, I'm gonna show you my secret weapon. Are you ready for a secret weapon? This is called the awl. It is a pokey thing. It's kind of like an ice pick. And sometimes if I can't get a cable tie where it needs to go, I can put the awl in to kind of open up the grapevine a little bit. And then I'll just follow behind that. So the awl went in right here. It went in right there. Can you see it? So now I'll run my cable tie right through there. It's got it all nice and open. Hey, coincidence? The awl has it all open? I think not. All right, so it's through the hole. I'm gonna come over here and grab the cable tie, the other end of it, and I'm gonna get it tight. Now, what you wanna make sure you do is don't sell it and ship it later and be missing your awl. Do you know one time we got a shipment of stuff and there was somebody had left their scissors and screwdriver in a box. And I felt bad because you know they were tearing up their warehouse like, where did I leave my scissors? Where is my screwdriver? So the lesson from that is pull out the awl. Look how beautiful this is. Oh my gosh, slide this over. We're gonna tuck it in. Now, you can't just leave it all squished, right? You have to take your time to separate the loops, okay? And separate those florals. You want them to work for you. We talked about all the depth and dimension, and we're gonna get that rocking now. So take these tails that go on this left side. There should be 3. And just kind of work them down into the greenery back here. All right, now let's go to the other side. And we're gonna do the same thing. Now this time I'm gonna bring them over a little bit more. So be real patient with this part and just take your time. Pulling these forward or out or whatever you want to do. I like to curl them. You can just have a heck of a time. You guys, since this is the kit, you're going to have plenty of this ribbon if you want to practice or if you want to make this wreath with your supplies that come in the kit. The only thing that does not come in the kit is the wreath base. So you can put it on whatever size wreath you want to because you're going to have to get a grapevine base to put it on. This is the 14-inch wreath base. It will say what size you need on your directions so you will know, and we also have that on the website. So we're not going to leave you out of what you need, but a lot of you already have grapevine wreath bases, so we like to keep the price down a little bit on the kit so you can just get the florals. Okay, this is amazing, beautiful, just how it is, but we're not done yet. Now we're going to use our filler flower, and the filler flower that we're going to use is kind of like a little micro filler, and I love it because it's going to really add this wispiness to it. So let's really quick get this one prepped. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, prepped. Haha, all ready. Alrighty. So I'm going to take a couple of the pieces that are a little bit longer, and we're going to use these kind of coming out with our lines going on here, all right? So I want to kind of accentuate this line on the outside. So I am going to take this really long center section of the bush, and we're going to use it coming out the bottom of the bow right here. Let's go right down here. Excuse me, I have to get under those knickers. Excuse me, bow. There we go. And you see how long that comes down? That looks really good right there. Yep, I like that. really accentuating the lines of the whole design. Now, let's work above the bow. We're gonna do that same thing. We're gonna have this piece go way up. This is gonna be really pretty. I mean, shoot, it's already really pretty, so gonna be. We're just making it even better. Now, it's really fun to add this wispiness into the bow too. So when you take one of these stems, we can take and divide it into two sections. We just cut it into two right here and keep these fairly short. They're still clustered. You know, I'm never gonna use a pick machine, not a fan, don't use them. So I have to take and make sure when I'm cutting, I don't screw that up. I really take my time to break that apart. It saves me a whole lot of time in production. And it's a lot safer when I don't have those razor sharp picks there to chop my fingers to pieces. This is not a Halloween wreath. We don't need the extra spiciness. All right, I put that one right at the top. Now it's time to come between the loops a little. So I'm going to come in here and pop these in between. And we're still just going into that wreath base. Here, I don't worry too much about covering the glue with moss because it's pretty camoed behind the bow itself. Ooh, that looks good. Now let's put one more piece here on the edge. And I'm just going to break this into the smaller clusters, really easy. You can usually do this with most any stem. You just need to pay attention to where you're cutting. We do that a lot in design school. That way we can take and make our pieces go much further. I love that. Okay, let's go down. Yes. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. That is pretty. Now I'm going to go on the right side. We're going to do the same thing. I have one little smaller piece here. So we're working in getting all great texture into the bow. And I'm not gluing it to the ribbon or anything. This is actually going into the wreath base. Okay, I'm tucking it in. This is what we got so far. Want to get a good look at it in there? Yeah. If you want to screen grab here, you can see the big difference in there. Isn't that pretty? Okay, just a little bit more wispiness in the bow, in the bow, in the bow. All right. Cutting these into smaller pieces. I'm going to get a piece right in here. There's a glue string on it. I'm trying to get off there. You know, my dog Ari, the red poodle, she thinks it's great to eat hair. Like, she loves to eat hair. She always has. She'll chew your hair. If she finds a hairball, you know when you do like towels and stuff, well, if you have a lot of people with long hair in your family, like Kaya and I have, you'll have little hairballs off the towels. That dog finds them and she will come up to you and she'll be like, she's just trying to eat that hair. Then I'm chasing her around going, no, you cannot eat the hair. Do y'all's dogs do that? Do y'all have any hair eating dogs? This is my first one ever like that, but she definitely keeps us guessing. All right, it's really looking really, really good. I'm just gonna add a couple of little finishing touches here. That wispiness is totally on point, and we really worked the line out really well. I'm gonna use a few more of these to kind of bring our C shape back in. So we're gonna do that right now. And we saved one piece of our very first background greenery we put in, which has the little purple daisy, and it's got the filler. We have one piece left of this too. So I will probably use this up here in the center. Towards the front, I'm going to trim it down a little bit. And I always keep a couple of pieces. In design school, I'll generally keep a couple of pieces of different components as we're working through the project to look for holes and fill in. So we always talk about that every week, how important that is. Because when you're designing, especially when you're first starting or you haven't been doing it as long as I have, that it's really easy for me to know where things go, but it takes a little time as you get making more and more pieces, learning how to fill in, learning how to be really strategic with your placement is one of the most important things we teach in class, because a lot of designers just think stuffing more and more and more Well, we're trying not to do that. We're trying to give everybody its space and really let it showcase, you know? Like, let it tell its story in the design. That makes me so happy. All right, I've got one more piece in here. I love our ribbon. I'm just gonna take a peek and see if I can use it. I think I can use a little bit coming out of the bottom here. So I'm just gonna take and trim it a little bit. We'll just tuck it in there. Right over here, it's loaded with the glue. Just gonna push that into the grapevine. Spread it out a little bit. And my last and final piece I'm going to use on the bottom of the bow. Just kind of coming out the middle here where we've got our other pieces next to it. I'm just going to gently pull that aside, just tuck it in. Ooh, I love that wispiness. Gosh, that just makes me so happy. It turned out really gorgeous, guys. I hope you enjoyed this together today because this was so much fun. I loved making it with you. And make sure you tell me if you've got a dog who's eating hair or if you can't stand the cold, because I am right there with you. Right there with you. Bye, Blue Merinos.